I didn't fight for her, not because I didn't love her, but because I loved her enough to let her go when she chose someone else. And when she did, I stayed silent. Not a word, not a text, not even a question. Because if someone can stand there and pick someone else over you, what could they possibly say afterward that would make it okay? So, I let her go quietly without burning bridges, without begging her to remember what we had. And I convinced myself she moved on, that she never looked back. Until one day she returned with tears in her eyes, and her old photo pressed to her chest like it was the last real thing she had left. Her name was Emily. And for 3 years, she was my entire world. It wasn't always easy. We argued, we stumbled, but we always came back to each other until the day she didn't. It happened slowly, the way most heartbreak does. She started talking about someone from work, a friend at first, then someone she clicked with, someone who just got her. I saw it happening, saw her slipping away, but I stayed still because I didn't want to be the guy who stood in the way of her happiness. 7 if it meant it wouldn't include me. And when she said she needed time, space, clarity, I gave it to her. But deep down, I knew she wasn't confused. She was choosing and she chose him. The night she left, I didn't cry in front of her. I held it together. Told her I wished her well, even smiled a little. And the moment the door closed behind her, I fell apart. But I never reached out, never tried to win her back. Because if she had to be convinced to stay, she didn't deserve the version of me that loved her without doubt. Months passed. I heard things through friends. That it didn't last with him. That she seemed quiet, different, but I didn't let myself care. Because the one thing I promised myself was this. If she ever comes back, it would have to be on her own. No invitations, no guilt trips, no unfinished business dragging me down. Then one afternoon, nearly a year later, I heard a knock. I wasn't expecting anyone. I wasn't even dressed properly, just sweats and a t-shirt. When I opened the door, it took me a second to recognize her. She looked older, not in age, but in the way people do after life has humbled them. She held something close to her chest. And before I could even ask what she was doing there, she slowly held it up. Our photo framed, faded from the trip we took to the coast 2 years ago. Her hands were trembling. "I've kept this," she whispered, even when I didn't know why. I stayed silent. Because what do you say to the person who left you behind only to realize too late what they lost? She stepped inside without me having to say anything. Just like she used to. We sat down. No coffee, no distractions, just her, me, and everything we'd never said. She looked at the picture. "I thought I was making the right choice," she said. "He made me feel noticed, like I was seen again." She paused. But it wasn't love. It was attention. And I confused the two. I didn't speak because this wasn't about me making it easier for her to confess. It was about her finally being honest. She looked up at me, eyes red. "I've never stopped thinking about you." I looked away. "That doesn't mean anything now." "I know," she said quickly. "But it's the truth. I see everything so clearly now. The quiet way you loved me. The things you did that I never even noticed at the time. I threw it all away thinking the grass was greener. And all I found was regret." Her voice cracked. "I'm not asking you to take me back. I just needed you to know that you weren't the one who failed us. I was." That hit harder than I expected because for the longest time I had blamed myself, too. Wondered what I could have done differently. If I'd loved her too quietly, too gently, if I made it too easy for her to leave. But hearing her say that, it gave me something I didn't know I still needed. "Closer," she stood up after a while, placed the photo on my kitchen counter. "You don't have to keep it," she said. But I didn't want it anymore if it meant holding on to something I broke. She turned toward the door, then stopped. "If you ever decide you want to talk about anything, I'm not running anymore." And then she left. No begging, no demands, just the truth. And the echo of a love that didn't survive but still mattered to anyone who's been left behind. You are not less than. You are not a backup plan. And you are not meant to chase someone who walked away with eyes wide open. If they come back, let it be on their own. Let them carry the weight. Let them speak the truth. And you choose peace. Because the love that left without fighting doesn't deserve the version of you that rose from the ashes. If this story hit home, drop a comment. You're not alone. And you deserve someone who loves you.